Hey guys, Ted from Nerdarchy here with Dave, for Nerds by Nerds, and today we're gonna go into some more Dungeons & Dragons monsters, and today we've got the super cool ambush monster, the Choker. Now, I'm not a super knowledgeable about the Choker, but our group has one really cool story about the Choker. You were running a game, and I don't remember exactly what we were fighting.
Allegedly running the game.
The party was facing some monster, and one of our friends thought, all right, this is too much for me to handle, and I'm gonna run. He ducks out the door, he rounds the corner, he goes through another door, and you had your campaign written, that's where something was, and boom, he gets set on by the Choker. So while we're getting our butts kicked in the other room, he's sitting there, failing grapple check after grapple check, and he winds up dying, doesn't he?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Actually, it's funny, I remember the Choker, but I have no idea what you guys were fighting. You're right, he decided this wasn't for him, ran, got hit from behind with the stranglehold, pulled up into the Choker lair, and
that's the last we saw of that guy.
Well, later I think you guys found the body in the Choker's hidey hole. But the Choker is a fun 3rd edition monster they came up with. It is an ambush specialist, which I love, and it's also an aberration, which I love. Creepy, freaky, Cthulhu-esque monsters.
Those things are always fun because you can have the kind of fear aspects. You can always tweak up the CR by adding some kind of special abilities if you want to really get into it. But honestly, when you come down to it, the aberrations, that's what their names is. They're creepy. So you can really get into all of that, and really mess with players' heads.
Now, I did an article on the Nerdarchy website about the Choker.
Okay.
And again, they're a fun monster because one thing is they're small, and so the little monsters usually aren't as scary.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing about the Choker, especially in 3rd edition, is the fact that in 3rd edition, a lot of times the bigger the monster, the badder it was.
Right.
And if you advance the monster, it would typically get bigger.
Right.
The Choker, no, it still stayed small. It was just a little ball of death, and. And
they kind of have like octopus tendrils as their fingers and appendages, and they love to just shove themselves in little cracks and crevices because they're kind of like an octopus. They can squeeze into places, so it makes them really easy at hiding, or they're really good at hiding because of it.
If you're into tactical combat, they're a really fun monster. Here's why: one, they have a climb speed, so they can move 3-dimensionally. Okay. 2, they have reach. They're a small monster with reach.
That's pretty impressive.
So they can get at you from far away. 3, their stealth is really good. They're good at hiding. They're good at sneaking. And 4, they're actually strong. This
is a combination that spells the utter doom and typically does not go together.
Right.
Yes, you can have things that are strong and therefore they can climb, but typically the things with a climb speed aren't really strong and can hide and can reach you from 10-15 feet away.
It's like the evil monkey octopus from hell that you have to face. And they're intelligent. They have a very low intelligence, but it's above animal level, and they're bribable. So they're intelligent. Like in 4th edition, they made them even a little bit smarter, and they changed them from aberration to fey, which I don't care for as much. I like them as creepy crawlies.
Right.
The creepy crawlies are some of my favorite monsters in D&D, and just in general. But so you could do fun things like making this monster the muscle for other people, right? And it's kind of funny because their muscle is like wobbling around like a midget, right? But then it hits you and it's like, oh my god, it's got like a 17 or 18 strength.
Wow.
And so that part is kind of fun, and like it just imagine adding rogue or fighter levels to this thing just makes it a beast.
Right.
Which you can...
Or you could do both.
Or you could do both. Or if you use multiple ones. Again, there's always templates I know we throw that out there a lot, but even out of the box, this monster's a lot of fun, and there's different ways to use it. You know, not only in underground dungeons and wilderness, but it can very easily be an urban monster. You can definitely see this thing creeping around sewers and alleyways, ambushing people, taking their stuff because it likes stuff and it likes eating people. Or, you know, or imagine if the local rogues guild or assassins guild happens to employ chokers.
Right.
You know, they've bribed them, trained them, whatever they've done. Or, you know, or maybe you have a super smart choker that's actually running a thieves guild, and no one actually knows because no one has ever actually seen it from behind the scenes.
Right.
You know, or, you know, what if there was a clan of ninjas that have been cursed, and now they're actually chokers, but they're chokers with ninja levels. You know, so there's definitely a lot of interesting things you can do with this monster. And again, like, you can go the other way. You know, we talked about this in our troll video. You can make, you know, you can go against type and have, you know, a creature that rejects its heritage and wants to do something else. You know, so it can be a role-playing thing.
Yeah, try and get it, you know, where it's, you know, it's some, again, it could be something that someone was cursed and they're now stuck in this form, so they're trying to get out of it, you know, and they're asking for the party's aid. They could be someone that they're, you know, hey, we got a lawful good choker that's underground and it's trying to find a way out to go do something somewhere else. I mean, there's two, you know, quick and easy, hey, random encounter turns into, you know, side quest.
So, you know, and this goes for all monsters. Like, you know, the monster manual gives you the typical for the species.
Right.
But it's not an absolute. So you can always change it up and you can do something different. You can do that with almost any monster. And, you know, it's good to do it once in a while to throw your players through a loop. You don't want to do it too often. Or,
you got to do something to really mess with the rules lawyers' heads. You know, I've had my brain twerked a number of times.
Well, you know, there's so many times that I've taken an encounter that was supposed to be combat, but something more interesting happens, and just let it go.
Absolutely.
You know, there's no like, you don't always have to kill the monster. You know, we've said it before, and we'll probably say it again.
We'll say it over and over again. You do not need to kick down the door, kill the monster, take its stuff, and get the XP. There's so much more. You know, it's not a combat game. It says it right there. Role-playing game. Talk to your monsters.
Talk to your monster. Right. Except for it's trying to eat you. Then kill it. Kill it dead.
While you're talking to it. Give it death threats. You know, try to persuade it not to fight. Talking is a free action.
Talking is a free action. So, you know, there's just some quick ideas, some things you can do, some different ways to use the choker. And here's another thing that's beautiful about the choker. There isn't all that much on the choker. So it's kind of open, right? Like if you look at Dark Elves and Drow, yeah, Dark Elves have a lot of mythology behind them. But then if you look at the Forgotten Realms Dark Elf, there wasn't anything beyond that until R.A. Salvatore started writing about them. And then it all became canon.
Right.
You know, so he basically, through his stories, completely and utterly designed the subspecies of elf known as the Drow. And that's what most people think of as Dark Elf now. You know, if they've been gaming, if they've been reading novels put out by Watts, that's ingrained in them. That's what a Dark Elf is.
Right.
So there's no reason why you can't do that with monsters in your campaign. They don't have to follow the stereotypical. And if there's not that much, it's wide open for interpretation.
Build it. Make that monster something special in your world. Give it some kind of history. Give it something that's, you know, rich and endearing that, you know, will make it, you know, yours and make that monster mean something to all your players.
So I think that covers chokers for today.
So make sure you click subscribe, comment below,
like. Let us know if you have any choker stories, or you guys, if you've used your chokers in a different way. And then you can always find us on nerdarchy.com. We've got the Facebooks, we've got Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. We're everywhere. Connect with us and get more cool content.
So until next time, my friends, stay nerdy.